97 SEC Gymnastics Championships from Stegman Coliseum in Athens, Georgia, home to the #1 ranked Georgia Gym Dogs, who will be trying to defend their 1996 Southeastern Conference Championship. They are ranked #1, and they are eyeing a national crown. Last year's 1996 NCAA champion, the Alabama Crimson Tide, well, they are still very strong. They come in ranked 4th, but have run across some physical problems of late. These are the 5th-ranked LSU Tigers, a very young but talented team. Keep an eye on them tonight. Well, my partner is Melissa Miller-Schubeck, and earlier she had a chance to talk with Georgia's top dog.
Thank you, Dave. We're here with Suzanne Yoculan, head coach of the University of Georgia, the defending SEC champions. Suzanne, it's a great field out here tonight. What are your expectations and thoughts?
Well, we expect to win. I mean, we come out to every competition to win. We know that if we want to be the best, we have to beat the best, and certainly that's what's going to be on the floor tonight.
We wish you the best of luck. We're going to see some great gymnastics, so stay tuned as we return with the first rotation.
Welcome back to Athens, Georgia, and Stegman Coliseum for the SEC Gymnastics Championships. 4 of the SEC's 6 teams are ranked in the top 10. One of those is Alabama. They are currently ranked 4th, but it has been a tough season for that woman, Sarah Patterson. Her team has been injured.
Well, obviously, Meredith Willard is not 100%, and she's our top all-arounder, and we're without Danielle McAdams tonight, who's out with a sprained ankle. And, you know, it's a great chance, a great opportunity for some new people to step in and do a great job, and hopefully they'll be healthy and 100% by the regional championship.
Well, there is Meredith Willard, and despite her problems, she will compete tonight. But that means that her teammates, including this woman, Shea Murphy, a 5'2" junior out of Canton, Michigan, will have to step up. She competes first on the beam, and you see that leg brace on Shea's left leg. She tore her anterior cruciate ligament on November 14th in preseason practice. Was supposed to be lost for the season, but has made a remarkable comeback, and her first meet back was versus Auburn on March 15th. And with me is Melissa Miller-Schubeck. And Melissa, obviously that knee brace is there. It looks heavy, but it's actually very light and works favorably for Shea. But still, knowing it's there, do you think that'll have an impact on her?
I don't think so. I think she knows the importance of this meet. She knows that this team depends on her, and she's off to a great start right now.
Second-team All-American on the beam in 1996.
The noise is definitely something to contend with at these SEC Championship. All the events are going on at one time, and this Alabama team had quite a bit of trouble against Georgia a few weeks ago in a dual meet.
Georgia is over on the floor, and certainly that is advantageous to the Gym Dogs, but not for the other 5 teams.
You see a switch leap into 2 straddle jumps, very solid. She looks very confident. In her dismount, a 1.5 twist, a slight step at the end, but a good solid start for Alabama. Taking a look from a different angle, this is her 2 back handsprings, layout, step out, and she nails it.
A nice routine for Shea Murphy, who just her 2nd competition back from the injury, 9.775. Now we move over to Georgia's Leslie Angeles on the floor. As we mentioned, the Georgia crowd loves the Gym Dogs on the floor. They are very competitive in this event, and Leslie Angeles, one of the premier floor routines you will find anywhere in the country.
And she's really one to get them on their feet with this explosive tumbling and dance. You see her 2nd tumbling pass, 2 whip-backs into a double twist. Perfect.
She was the 1995 NCAA champion on this floor routine.
And you can see why. She gets her 2 tumbling passes done quite early in the routine. Now she's got a big section of dance and a remainder of 1 more tumbling pass.
Leslie, one of 3 seniors on this team. She resides in Madison Heights, Michigan. Scored her season high 2 weeks ago, a 9.975.
And she needs to nail this last tumbling pass. Double twist. Perfect. Tell you, this Georgia team is so hot on this event.
A very solid routine for Leslie Angeles. She scores a 9.90 for the Gym Dogs, and a good start for the University of Georgia. There is Judy Markell in the background in the blue dress. Says her team has competed well, but they haven't really hit their peak as of yet. Hoping tonight they will do that. Susan Hines, the 5'2" sophomore, on the vault.
And she performs a handspring front, nice height, and a good landing.
9.875.
It's a great lift, legs perfectly together, and a good finish at the end.
And a good score for the 1996 second-team All-American. There is Leah Little, head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats, trying to pull off some magic without her superstar, Jenny Hansen, who has fulfilled all of her requirements as a Kentucky gymnast. And this is Robin Ewing, the 5'1" senior, trying to pick up some of that slack left by Miss Hansen.
She starts with a nice release move, a Ginger into another reverse heck, moving very well at this point. If anybody can fill those shoes for Kentucky, it's definitely Robin Ewing. And get ready for a dismount. Nice high tuck double back and a stuck landing.
Robin Ewing coming up nice on the uneven bars for Kentucky, a 9.825. And we go back to the floor, and Georgia's Kim Arnold, the 5' junior out of Portland, Oregon, scored her first ever 10 on the floor a month ago against NC State.
Watch the power in this tumbling. She starts off with 2 whip backs into a nice high pike double back.
She has scored 3 straight 10s on this floor. It has actually picked up 8 10s this season overall, so a fantastic year for the junior.
She does a brain into a nice high layout step out. Doesn't look extremely difficult, but her routine is valued at a 10.0.
She is the premier gymnast in the NCAA here in 1997 on the floor, along with her teammate Leah Brown.
She just has to stick this last one. Pike double back. Beautiful.
I think one benefit she has is she has very good music.
Definitely gets the crowd involved.
Fine performance from Kim Arnold. Probably known more for her vaults, but still very accomplished on the floor.
And you see that power on this event. Nice high pike double back, very clean, and she nails it.
As you hear the Georgia fans bark in the background, it's a 9.95 for Kim Arnold. We head back to the vault in Florida's Chrissy Vogel, the 5'2" senior out of Gainesville.
She's doing a handspring front pike position, very explosive, but so much she can't stick that landing. That's going to cost her.
About ran out of the gym on that one. 5-time All-American, took 6 at the all-around in last year's NCAA championships. 9.90 was her score. Now we head over to the beam, and Alabama's Stephanie Woods, and this will be a huge opportunity for Stephanie and the Alabama Crimson Tide, because earlier Meredith Willard took major deductions on her dismount and scored only a 9.35. So for Alabama, they hope that Stephanie Woods can pull off a solid routine and they can drop Meredith Willard's score.
Well, not only does that put pressure on her, but she's last in the lineup, and that's a hard position on this event. You see her getting ready for her acrobatic series. Very important in this routine. Back handspring step out, layout step out, and a fall. This is really going to hurt Alabama at this point in the competition.
And very shocking, considering perhaps Alabama's 2 best beam performers, Meredith Willard and now Stephanie Woods, have fallen off this beam. And of course, Stephanie fell off this beam in a meet against Georgia earlier this year and picked up a score of just 9.25.
We mentioned earlier that Georgia is on the floor exercise. This arena gets kind of rowdy during this time, and she's having kind of a difficult time concentrating during this routine, as it appears. Nice front aerial. Front aerial flip down to the beam. She has a unique routine and showing her strength and flexibility right here. She seems to be regaining her composure in her dismount. A gainer with a full twist, a hop at the end. She's got to be disappointed with that fall. Taking a second look. Beautiful form. Perfect. Looks like she's turned her shoulders just a little bit, enough to pull her off, and she couldn't hang on.
And there it is, a very disappointing 9.30. Now we head back to the floor, and Georgia's Leah Brown, 5'8" senior out of Atlanta, Miss Excitement on the floor, and she will get this Georgia crowd on their feet before it's over.
And look at that full twisting double back in a pike position. Gorgeous. You don't see that trick very often.
Well, Leah Brown is currently ranked as the #1 all-arounder in the country and is tied with teammate Kim Arnold as the #1 performers on the floor with an average of 9.98. Unbelievable when you think about it.
And you can see why she's so explosive. Punch front into a Branny. Now she has time to relax and play to the crowd. She's taking a deep breath for this last tumbling pass. That generally tells you it's going to be something difficult. And here it goes. Nice high tuck double back, stuck landing.
The senior out of Atlanta putting on a fantastic performance in her last meet inside of Stegman Coliseum.
Taking another look at this exciting tumbling pass. She does a full twisting double back and nails it.
Well, the crowd wants a 10, but do the judges see it the same way? And no, they don't. It's a 9.975. We'll step aside. Back in a moment. Head coach of the LSU Tigers, Dee Bro, in her 20th year, and well, she has a very young team. But this is one of her veterans, the junior, Amy McClosky out of Rockwell, Texas. She is on the beam.
And she starts with a very difficult mount, a round-off layout step up onto the beam. Punch front, very solid. Most of the gymnasts will start with a fairly easy mount, but she goes for it all right at the beginning.
Well, Amy scored LSU's first 10 on the beam, which occurred last year when she was a sophomore. And ranks 4th currently on the beam nationally.
Back handspring layout, layout, layout. 3 of them. I'm not real sure how she fit them all on the beam as tall as she is.
Amy won 6 all-around titles this year, including a meet against the Georgia Gym Dogs earlier this year.
That's a big accomplishment against Leah Brown and Kim Arnold. Back handspring into a pike jump. The dismount, round off, double twist. Great landing.
Amy McClosky with a stuck landing will probably get a nice score for this routine.
There's her back handspring with 3 layout step outs, and she has to be right on for every one of those, and she nails it.
And a 9.875 for Amy McClosky. And now we go to the bars, and the University of Florida's Jamie Graziano, one of the many talented freshmen on this Florida team and in the Southeastern Conference. He's out of Parkland, Florida.
She's starting with some giants and full pirouettes, moving down to the low bar. You see the coach getting ready in the background for her release move, a reverse heck. Fairly clean. A nice high tuck double back and a great landing.
The freshman did not succumb to the pressure here of her first SEC meet with a score of 9.825. And now we head to the floor, and Alabama's Mandy Chapman, a sophomore from Greensboro, North Carolina, a former walk-on.
She's starting with a front full into a punch front. Into her jump combination. second tumbling pass, round up a handspring double twist. Not quite as explosive as the Georgia floor routines.
Mandy, very athletic, and I think that comes from her parents. Her dad was a former captain of the University of North Carolina swim team. Her mother was a former member of the UNC field hockey team, so being a part of collegiate athletics runs in the blood inside the Chapman household.
So you're getting ready for this last tumbling pass. A Rudy, which is a 1.5 twist. Again, it's a fairly clean routine, but not real exciting and not real explosive.
And that is Mandy Chapman, the 5'5" sophomore, a score of 9.85 for the Crimson Tide. Now we head back to the vault. This is Auburn's Jenny King, the senior from Atlanta.
She's doing handspring front in a tuck position, very clean, a good landing. Not the most difficult vault in this meet.
Probably Auburn's best vaulter. Scores a 9.80. Back to the bars, and Florida's Chrissy Van Fleet, another phenomenal freshman for Judy Markell.
She's starting with the upright handstand. Nice release move, very clean. They need a strong score from Chrissy. And her dismount, a layout double back, and a big hop at the end.
Looked like that mat got in her way on her dismount.
Well, she might have needed a little more height here.
Still, another one of these freshmen that we will hear a lot about in the future. A 9.75 for Chrissy Van Fleet. And here is your 1996 NCAA all-around champion, Meredith Willard, a senior out of Clemens, North Carolina, a 6-time All-American.
She's starting with the Rudy into a layout step out.
Meredith having some physical problems. Her back has been bothering her of late, but still wants to compete here at the SEC Gymnastics Championships. And of course, this will be her swan song of these SEC Championships.
She has a front flip into a double twist, very clean.
Sixteen of her 22 floor routines over the last 2 years have been scored over 9.90.
Well, she's always very consistent on this event. She doesn't do the double back, so I don't know if that affects her in any way as far as putting on a better performance. It shows a lot of heart, her competing with this injury in this competition, but these championships are so important to these teams. Their last tumbling pass, double twist, very clean.
And Meredith Willard of Alabama, despite her bad back, comes in with a score of 9.90. Well, we shall come back to Stegman Coliseum for more SEC Gymnastics Championships from Athens, Georgia. Stay with us. The Stegman Coliseum on the campus of the University of Georgia, and we continue with our coverage as we pick it up with the homestanding Gym Dogs on the vault. And this is our first look at senior Lisa Kirk out of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, ranked 20th nationally on the vault.
And Georgia is so explosive on this event. She does a handspring front in a pike position, beautiful landing.
She usually leads things off for Georgia on the vault, and with performances like that, who can argue with the order?
You see a slight leg separation on the pre-flight, but perfect on the finish.
A 9.925 for the senior. Over on the floor, it's LSU's Stacy Wagner, a freshman from Marrero, Louisiana. Did not compete for 2 years back between 92 and 94 because of injuries, but has since come on strong for the LSU Tigers. Just one of 7 freshmen. I say just one of because it's amazing on this LSU team.
And she's starting with a good solid tuck double back. Again, I always tend to compare these teams to Georgia. Georgia has so much difficulty. You can see why they're so strong.
Wegner has been a little bit inconsistent on the floor this season for LSU.
She does 2 front layouts. Little trouble on the landing of the second one.
Her scores have ranged from 9.175 to 9.85. Her best score on the floor this year, a 9.850.
And taking a breath for that last tumbling pass. A double twist, a good strong finish.
Wegner comes in with a nice score of 9.80. Once again, a lot of talented freshmen in the SEC. And now we pick it up with a junior out of Manville, Louisiana, Julie Ballard on the vault.
Handspring front pike position, perfect vault. That was incredible. Just watch this replay. Legs are perfectly together, nice height, and she nails it.
Julie Ballard hits that mat like a dart. And a score of 9.975 for the former SEC Freshman of the Year. And now we join up with Sarah Whitworth, the 5'4" freshman from Auburn.
She finishes with a toe on front in a pike position.
And a 9.80 for yet another freshman. Now we go over to the beam, and Robin Ewing of Kentucky, the senior, the team's top all-arounder, coming off a 9.825 on bars, has been somewhat inconsistent, but of late has put together some good routines, has a season high of 9.875.
Round off back handspring layout, step out. Very difficult pass. Full turn, which is a requirement on this event.
Kentucky actually was ranked as high as number 7 nationally this year.
You hear her teammates cheering her on here. And her dismount, a gainer with a full twist. Perfect landing.
Well, her teammates certainly like it, and the judges like it as well. A solid 9.875 for Robin Ewing. Now we head back to the floor at LSU's Amy McClosky, the junior out of Rockwell, Texas, coming off a 9.875 on the beam. She posted a season high of 9.925 on the floor versus Alabama earlier.
She starts with a whip back into a pike double back. Very strong beginning.
Well, her team is loaded down with freshmen, 7 to be exact, so she is one of the senior citizens, if you will, as a junior. Says she enters this competition with a lot of confidence, and I think we see that with her routine thus far.
Round up a handspring. Another pike double back. Can you see such a variety of choreography and choice of music throughout this competition? Ending with a double twist.
Amy McClosky performing nicely on the floor.
Looks like LSU's having a great time on this event. Taking a look at this tumbling pass, whip back into a nice clean pike double back. A great start.
LSU and Amy McClosky a 9.875. Leah Brown is next up for Georgia. She is on the vault, and while we were watching Amy McClosky, Kim Arnold scored a perfect 10 on the vault, her 6th this year. Can Leah Brown duplicate it?
And look at that vault. Handspring front layout with a half twist. The first collegiate gymnast to perform this vault, and she's the only one that can pull it off, and she nails it.
And it is a perfect 10 for Leah Brown. And believe it or not, this makes the 3rd straight competition that Arnold and Brown have matched each other on the vault with perfect 10s. An unbelievable feat for the Gym Dogs. And it has been an unbelievable meet for them as well, as they lead everybody after 3 rotations. No surprise in the fact that Georgia is leading after 3 rotations, but the big surprise is Alabama. They are in 5th place. Injuries have taken their toll, but they are counting on Merritt Booth to help provide them some leadership down the stretch here, as she is on the vault, and a nice vault it was.
The handspring front with a half twist, and she nails the landing.
9.925 for Merritt. And this is Jenny Beathard from the University of Georgia, the 5'2" sophomore out of Altamont Springs, Florida, on the bars. She is currently tied for 4th nationally on the bars with an average score of 9.922.
See her nice release move, reverse heck. She is the defending SEC champion on this event, and you can see why. She moves so well and so fluid. In her dismount, nice high full twisting double back, perfect routine. You see the dismount, nice full twisting double back, and she really stuck that landing.
Georgia has stuck nearly every landing tonight, which is one of the reasons they sit atop the current standings. And now we go back to the vault, and this is Kim Bonaventura, better known as Kimbo, the 5-foot senior out of Houston, Texas.
Shooting a handspring front in a pike position, little hop at the end. Looks like she might have landed a little low on that landing and did something to her ankle.
Yeah, she is taking her time on that left leg.
Let's take another look. Not a lot of lift off of the horse. It looks like it even turned sideways a little bit.
And that is bad news for Alabama. Just one more injury, and this is not the time of the year when you get injuries. Meredith Willard already with back problems. Danielle McAdams not competing tonight, and now Kimbo Bonaventura out with what looks to be a bad left leg. And now we go to the floor, and Mila Chitwood, the freshman from Glendale, Kentucky, yet another walk-on. Leah Little hopes to get a spark from this energetic gymnast. She has been very erratic this year, but at times has shown some brilliance.
She's starting with a nice high tuck double back, solid landing.
Kentucky's had a nice meet thus far. They are in 4th place, doing a little bit better than what some might have expected.
You see a nice Rudy, a 1.5 twist. You see a lot more front tumbling in collegiate gymnastics nowadays than you used to in the past. All she has left here is her last tumbling pass. Another front tumbling pass, front layout into a punch front tuck. Very clean.
And a very solid performance from Mila Chitwood, just a freshman. We'll be hearing about her down the road, a 9.825 for her. And now we go to the bars, and Georgia's Karin Lichey, the sophomore out of Cincinnati, ranked 6th nationally on the bars, averaging 9.917, is back after sitting out the Michigan meet due to a stress fracture in her right leg, which is no doubt still a problem for her, but can't keep her out of this.
She moves so clean on this event. Beautiful release move. And getting ready for her dismount. A double layout. Beautiful landing. This is such a difficult dismount to finish and stick here. And she does a great job.
You see Suzanne Yoculan in the background. It's almost like she's competing on the bars herself. And she has her feet firmly planted on the ground. I guess not firmly. And check out the teammates of Karin Lichey. They are extremely happy with that performance because it is a 9.950. And here's an opportunity for Alabama with Meredith Willard on the vault.
Handspring front with a half twist, big hop at the end, but a very difficult vault.
It has been a tough night for Alabama, but Meredith Willard doing all she can to carry the Alabama team on her shoulders. A score of 9.9 as you see her talking with her coach, Sarah Patterson, hoping to get something started here as we are running out of opportunities for the Crimson Tide. But now we pick it up with the bars and Georgia's Leah Brown, another part of Georgia's #1 bars squad. She ranks 2nd nationally.
She's starting off with a very solid routine. She hits her release move. Another nice high reverse heck. Gorgeous. They're almost unstoppable at this point in a unique dismount. Double front. And it takes so much strength to do 2 release moves in the routine. And look how high that is.
A score of 9.95. And, of course, the folks inside the Coliseum love it. Back with more in a moment.
Low, huh? That's how we like our prices at Lowe's Home Improvement.
Dillard, the head coach of the Auburn Tigers, knowing that it is an uphill battle tonight. And this is Kim Watanabe, a 5'2" senior out of Dallas, Texas, trying to pick up some of the slack. It's certainly been a night for many of the Tigers to learn a little bit about themselves here at the SEC Championships.
You see Kim starting with some very unique skills in her routine, which I always enjoy seeing. Pike jump into a back handspring step out.
This is only her 5th appearance on the beam this year, but she has gotten better with each competition, scoring her career high at 9.70 versus Alabama back on the 15th of March.
Into her dismount, a gainer with a full twist, very clean.
9.70 for the Auburn Tigers to get them going on the beam. And now we go to the bars, and Gwen Speidel, the sophomore out of Gallatin, Missouri, coming off a career-high 9.90 on the bars versus Auburn.
She started with a full pirouette out of her giant. Half pirouette with a mixed grip. Nice release move. Slight form break as she caught the high bar. Cast a handstand into giants. Another full pirouette into a tuck double back. 110 deduction on the end.
Well, for Gwen Speidel, it was a score of 9.80. And now we head over to the vault and pick up action with LSU's Carrie Descalopoulos, a 4'10" freshman out of Marietta, Georgia.
She's doing a handspring front in a pike position. The 110 deduction on the end for that hop.
Still a nice vault for the freshman, 9.90. She ranks 19th nationally on the vault. And her twin sister, Kim, also a member of this LSU gymnastics team. And now we go to the floor, and Chrissy Van Fleet of Florida.
She's one of my favorite Florida gymnasts on this event. So explosive. See that nice high pike double back. And I really enjoyed the choreography in this routine as well. It's very quick, very explosive. Handspring front layout into a punch front.
We have mentioned numerous freshmen competing here at the SEC Championships. And Chrissy is one of 3 freshmen ranked in the SEC top 10 in the all-around competition, and she finished 3rd or better in 6 all-around competitions this year.
Now, you know, somewhere in this routine, she's got the gator chomp. Every gator gymnast does, so we've got to look. There it is. All she has left now is her last tumbling pass. Florida needs a good finish here. Round up back handspring, a full twist, Not the most difficult ending. I'm assuming she'll add another twist for the national championship.
Chrissy Van Fleet, a freshman, with a fine performance and a score of 9.875. Back to the vault now at LSU, Stephanie Hyatt. Actually competed on the same junior club as Sarita Barnett, her teammate.
And she does a nice vault, handspring front pike. She nails the landing.
A 9.925 for this former member of the Canadian national team. Well, as we head to the final rotation, that means that the Gym Dogs will head to the beam and try to hold on to their lead. Back in a moment. Well, the Georgia Gym Dogs will head over to the beam. They had a bye in the last rotation. They will try to hold on to first place, and these girls, the University of Florida, will try to hold on to second. They have a bye here in the last rotation, and now we go to the vault, and Kristen Hefferlin of Kentucky.
She's doing a handspring front in a tuck position. Perfect vault, but this is only out of a 9.90.
Well, this freshman sensation with a 9.775, we will hear her name down the road, that is for sure. Now we go to the beam, and Georgia's Sam Uhlman, a 5'3" sophomore out of Kettering, Ohio. 7-time national team member, and really an interesting story, and there are plenty of them here at the SEC Championships. She blew out her knee before her freshman year and has gone through tremendous rehabilitation workouts and has finally got back to the point where she thinks she can compete at the level with the rest of her teammates, and that is a high standard for anybody.
You see her acrobatic series, back handspring layout, step up back handspring, very solid. To a nice back handspring with a quarter twist to a handstand. Very unique. Showing off her strength.
You know, it's hard to pick a bad event for the Gym Dogs, but they're not big fans of the beam. And it's a tough way to hold on to a lead here in the final rotation.
Well, this event is tough for any team in this situation, ending on the bounce beam. Suzanne didn't like this rotation, and they just have to tough it out.
Uhlman tied for 13th nationally in this event.
They dismount a 1.5 twist, a blind landing, and she nailed it. Taking a look at her planche, showing off her strength right at the beginning of her routine.
Coach Yoculan and Sam Uhlman very happy with that performance on the beam. A 9.90 for Sam. A job well done. And now we head to the bars in LSU. Sarita Barnett, the senior out of Quebec, Canada. Also wearing a knee brace. She anchors this LSU bar squad.
Look at that high release move. Gorgeous.
She has had to overcome numerous injuries during her career at LSU.
And her dismount, a tuck double back, a hop at the end. It's quite difficult to land on that injured knee.
Yeah, you could see her grimace in pain a little bit, but still a solid performance at 9.825. Now we're back to the beam and Kim Arnold. This is a big performance in terms of the individual standings. She is running neck and neck at this point with her teammate Leah Brown for the all-around title.
And she begins with a great start, very solid. Looks very confident on the beam tonight.
She has recorded 8 10s this season.
You see a nice punch front. Round out back handspring. There's a lot of difficulty in this routine. Back handspring straddle down. Showing a lot of confidence.
I think you can begin to sense the fact that Georgia knows that they've got this 1997 SEC championship.
And their performances are really showing that. Gainer dismount. A round off, a pike double back. One hop at the end, but a beautiful routine for Kim.
One of the best that we have seen tonight, and with a score of 9.950. Hugs around for everybody in the Georgia camp. And now we go to the vault, and Shantae Hall, a 5'2" sophomore out of College Park, Georgia.
Handspring front pike position, one hop at the end.
Shantae, a nice job of a 9.875 for her Wildcat teams. Now we go back to the beam, and we pick it up with Karin Lichey of Georgia, the sophomore. Knowing what's at stake, she is the last performer for the Gym Dogs. If she can just survive this routine, the Gym Dogs can rack up yet another SEC championship.
Back handspring layout, back handspring, right on.
Not bad when you got the nation's 10th best beam performer running the last leg for you. Karin Lichey, of course, the first and only woman in collegiate gymnastics to score a perfect 10 in all 4 events. That, my friend, is not so shabby, and she did it at a dual meet last year. Of course, every time she takes to the competition floor, everybody expects 10s from her now.
It's very impressive to be so consistent on every event. And she's showing that consistency on this event tonight.
Her season high on the beam is a 9.90 and ranks 10th nationally.
Cartwheel, full twist, gainer, dismount, beautiful job.
And folks, that'll do it for Georgia as they claim the 1997 SEC Gymnastics Championship with a score of 9.950 for Karin Lichey. And congratulations abound between Florida and LSU. The Gators come in second, LSU in third, but this night belonged to the homestanding Gym Dogs in front of a capacity crowd in Stegman Coliseum. From start to finish, it was all Georgia as they run away with the title. But the surprise of the night, Alabama in fourth. But my partner, Melissa Miller-Schubeck, is down on the floor with 2 winners.
Thank you, Dave. I'm here with a couple of happy Georgia Bulldogs. Of course, Suzanne Yoculan, the second straight SEC championship title.
Thank you. It was so exciting. Our team was just on. They were in a zone tonight. It was like a tractor pull. Bring it on, bring it on. You know, whatever anyone brought on, they were going to do one better. And it was so much fun.
And we're here with Kim Arnold, the all-around champion. You've got to be on top of the world this evening.
I didn't know that. Yeah, it was a great meet. The team was just so together, and just, like Suzanne said, one after another. It was just, we kept building and building. It just was great.
Well, I'm glad that we could give Kim Arnold the news that she is your all-around champion. Georgia with a clean sweep of the individual awards. Your freshman of the year, Kristen Heffernan. Judy Markell, the coach of the year, and your SEC athlete of the year, Meredith Willard. It was a great night at Stegman Coliseum. So for my partner, Melissa Miller-Schubeck, I'm Dave Neal. So long, everybody.